This is 5 ways that I decorate for Christmas. I wanted to incorporate a decoration into my home that would be really sustainable year on, year out. And about 3-4 years ago, I was just out shopping in the supermarket doing my food shop, and I saw these miniature Christmas trees and thought, what a great way of adding some decor to my house every year, but in a really sustainable way. This tree was £10 3 years ago, so cost per year is really minimal. So my style is really super simple. I just like to do the less is more approach, and so all I put on this little Christmas tree is just some warm white lights and some orange slices. The key to looking after your lights is to make sure you take your batteries out at the end of each Christmas so they don't leak. I'm going to show you how I wire up the orange slices and fix them to the tree. You just need a little bit of floristry wire, which I chop into 2. You can get it in these lengths, or you can get it on a reel and cut it down. You grab a couple of slices and layer them, and then just pop your wire through. Pull them upwards and just give them a bit of a twist. And I also really enjoy the challenge of keeping it alive all year round. And my kids really enjoy it because it's something that we can do together as a family. I dress my banister with my children's advent calendar. I've done this since they were babies, so way before they were eating chocolate, and more for my own enjoyment. But I found these brown numbered advent pouches. Again, they were from a wholesaler's called Country Baskets, and I added just some brown twine, garden twine to them, different lengths, so that I could hang them off the banister in different positions. It's a really sustainable way of having an advent calendar, because I'm not buying box advents that are made out of plastic and cardboard and are essentially just going to be thrown away. Every year I put this away and I just buy 48 chocolate coins. And of course you could easily create this with some brown paper celery packets, a little eyelet kit from Hobbycraft, and a stamp set, and just make your own. And then just add a couple of coins in each. I have to make sure it's the same size coin in each pouch, otherwise there's trouble. I always like to finish it off with a homemade garland. This one's made out of beautiful conifer. Not only does it look gorgeous, but it smells absolutely gorgeous. And I've just bundled them up into sections and then wired on one piece of continuous wire. Conifer in particular is really brilliant at not drying out, so it's a brilliant way of adding festive cheer to your house that'll last. Decorate varying pockets with little bits of spruce that are reused off any jobs that I do up to Christmas for customers. And my kids love this because, first of all, they think that our magic elf comes and sets all this up, but they love coming down in the morning and finding the number for each day. I'm going to show you how I style up my front door for Christmas. Traditionally, most people go with a wreath, but I like to make a swag. So a swag is an alternative to a door wreath at Christmas time. It's a collection of different foliages that are layered together and then tied at the top and hung off your door in a beautiful draping fashion. You can adorn it with additional things. I like to use bells, but you can use pretty much whatever you like. I'm making my swag out of lots of different pieces of foliage. I would say 80% of the foliage I've got is either cut from my garden, collected and foraged when I've been out on walks with my kids, just stuff that's blown off trees, sometimes a little snip here and there off a tree that's got it in abundance. So when I go out and forage, I'm always super respectful to the areas that I am cutting from. I only take the bare minimum that I need. I always make sure that an area isn't decimated. You only take a few little bits that you know at a time. and I don't do it week in, week out. It's something that's seasonal, so obviously you're having to wait for the seasons to change, for things to come into bloom, for the leaves to drop off the trees and to go into the evergreen phase that we are in now, and the same in spring really and summer. And then I'm also adding in some shop bought eucalyptus. I've got 2 different types, and that's cost about £18. It's super expensive at this time of year, eucalyptus, but you get quite a lot in the bundle. And so what I do is I stretch it across several different areas of my house, decoration wise. So, you know, stem for stem, it's really, really cost effective. I really like a swag. I think they're really beautiful, and I think they show off foliage to its best. And I think it's a little bit different to what everybody else is doing with their doors at Christmas time. And so that is what it looks like when it's finished. So for quite a few years now, I've been collecting little tree ornaments to decorate my mantle. I love trees. I'm really passionate about them. I just think they're wonderful, interesting things, and they've been here a lot longer than we have, and they'll be here way after we're gone, and they give me lots of joy. So I love my mantle every year with all my different trees, and I add to my collection each year. So a lot of these trees are from a lovely little shop called, I'm hoping I'm saying it correctly, Salisbury Green. And each year they bring out different wooden and glass trees. So many of them are from there from years and years. And this black one, which I love in particular, that was from a trip to Peacham Nurseries in London. So each piece has some form of Christmas memory for me, and I think that's what I in particular love about Christmas, is that you can collect pieces and they bring you joy each time you get them out each year. And of course, each mantle is different every year because, you know, it's just an organic thing. So it's never the same, which is brilliant. Definitely consider different textures when I'm buying things for the house, particularly decorations. It's similar to the foliage really, isn't it? In that you build the layers of a piece up using different textures of flowers and foliage, and it's no different with the different, you know, the glass, the wood, the different finishes, paints, colours. I think everything I do is fairly considered. Continuing on with the orange slice theme, I've strung on some clear fishing wire, some orange slices, which I attach to my fireplace using just a bit of washi tape. And then I like to do what I call a broken swag. So rather than it go all the way across, I position it sort of 2/3 along, tape it off, and then just leave this bit hanging down. Really beautiful. Like so. I always do a Christmas centrepiece for my table, whether I'm hosting or not. It's a really versatile way of adding beautiful decorations to your house at Christmas time. Again, it's just a really sustainable way of getting the most out of the foliage you've either gathered off a walk or you've bought from a shop. So I'm using a vessel that I've just got at home. I have a collection of these types of vessels, but you can use whatever you'd like. I think these are particularly good for table centres because they're quite low, they're a nice shape. So I'm just going to show you how to grid off so that you don't have to use any floral foam. I don't like using floral foam because it's really bad for the environment. There isn't a time and a place for using floral foam, but there's a super easy way of avoiding it, so I'll show you how to do that now. You just need a reel of this floristry tape, which you can pick up from your local florist. So you literally just pull it across and stick it down and cut off. Give it a good press down and then repeat. So it's gridded off like so. Really, really easy. And then I'll fill that with water. So again, this is all about building textures. So I just start by adding in some of the conifer, snipping my ends at an angle. Really nice because it's got that lovely drape. And as you can see, the grid is just holding it into position really nicely. Getting some taller bits. And again, what you'll find is the natural shapes of some of the foliage will just help give you your structure. Just keep turning it so that you can keep it balanced. You see how quickly it starts to build up. And then these are the little bits that I cut off the swag, which I'm going to use in here. Just give the ends another snip. If you've never tried doing your own arrangement at home before, I would say just go for it. I personally don't think there's a right or wrong way. Just do what you love and what makes, what gives you pleasure and joy. It's all about the joy for me. These last bits of ivy that I'm going to put in as trailing pieces to elongate the arrangement. These have just grown through my fence from my neighbour's garden, and so I've just snipped them off and I'm going to put them to good use. So I get inspired from lots of different places. I love Pinterest. I absolutely love Instagram. I follow people like Kerry Lockwood. I find her really inspiring. And also, just going out on walks, watching films and television productions, and there's something you can take from everything. So once I've made my arrangements and had the enjoyment out of them in my home, once they've gone over, I will always put them out in the garden for a period of time for the birds and the squirrels to come and take the bits that they can feed off. So again, it's just another way of making them even more sustainable to the environment.